Alright, I'm here doing baby in the Halloween costume today. That's what I'm doing. I call what I call a baby a toddler, but it's irrelevant. I did order some new cards that I was going to try to break in on the next stream also. But we're going to start this. It's an AI one, of course, because nobody draws their own stuff these days. But I'm here. I figured before all my Amazon deliveries get here, I might as well do a live stream. Alright. I'm going to cultivate the moon. They have the moon in the back. And I'm going to start this up, and I think I have enough height so people can see what I'm doing. Thank goodness. This piece is going to be a little complicated, but I think since I nailed that skull, I could do this. Alright, I'm making a circle for the moon. And then right in here, there's little fences. This is an AI, of course. AI, I guess, paints and sketches these days, laugh out loud. Alright, we got some buildings in the back. Sometimes it's good just to do your buildings and things. And then the baby, the toddler, that's dressed like a witch, will be in the middle. This has buildings. I'm going to do small fences. I'm going to represent a yard. I feel that would be better. Oh, hi, Queen. How are you? I'm doing a Halloween scene with a little girl. And it looks like AI did this. And this is what I talk about. I feel that AI feels like they're human. I just don't understand how this could be a thing. So I'm going to sketch it and show that humans could do it too. I know Elon Musk and everyone else now says that it's not good that AI is around. Probably not, honestly. It takes away the ingenuity of the human. But yeah, how you doing, Queen? I did talk to my laugh out loud lawyer. I'm letting both lawyers fight against each other. That's what I decide I'm doing, Queen. I just asked her, the one lawyer, and I looked her up. She's on a law. Her dad owns a law firm. That was what the devil himself wanted to have in her first place. I got locked out of the case. She's going to the VA, and she is going to get my dad's ashes for me. So, oh, hi, Karan. Oh, you want to know when Devon will contact you? How long has it been? Hasn't it? I think last time I talked to you. Does he live nearby? Is this some of the problem? Sometimes these long distance relationships aren't good. They really are. Alright, let me do Devon first here. She's been having problems with her person. I can give you the energy field on him, but I can't tell you what he freely is going to want to do. Oh, he was working every day because they were firing a lot of people at his job. Oh, okay. Yeah, a lot of these places are doing that. I couldn't get fired if I wanted to. I get stuck going to the same job all the time, even though I don't get along with my boss at times. I still get stuck. Oh, okay. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I braided it. I did a hair treatment. My hair sometimes doesn't like to behave, and it's really, really poofy, and I gotta put tons of lotion in my hair. So, well, yeah, that could be. And if there's children involved, that could be a underlying issue too. Depends on if the kids are ready for a new mama. If the kids aren't ready for a new mama, it could be problems for him altogether. All right. He is in a new moon in Taurus. And this talks about his dreams and life itself need a practical plan for him to move forward. He's stuck right now, trying to hold down what he can. Then he's surrounded by multiple moon, and this just talks about nothing in his future is set one way or another. It's what he chooses. And he has not chose a path, Queen. I will tell you that. He's just stuck. And then he's also has a new moon in Libra. And this talks about a romantic cycle that wants to come through, but he hasn't chose nothing. I don't know. I'm picking up he has a lot of stuff going on in his life, and he's trying to debate on how he would even fit it into his life right now. So that's hard to say when he'll contact you or if he ever will. So, I mean, if he doesn't, there's always all that. Oh, well. Maybe just wait till all this goes through because you know kids always come first. Even if it's our personal happiness and they are the one, our kids are more important than we are. So, unfortunately, you're going to have to wait this one out to see how the kids feel about everything. So, because it's not about us once the kids are born, relationships are about children. So, once the children are born, if the children are unhappy in any way, shape, or form, that's when spiritually things that people will get separated from people if they get in that process because they were meant to be born. I guess it depends on if he wants you to be the mother of his children, the future mom, so or even a stepmom. And that's a lot because that means that takes a commitment of to their 18 and older. And that's a lot to think of. So just because the kids will speak to you doesn't mean that they're going to want you as their stepmom. I went through this with my dad when he had his second marriage, and I did not like the second wife. And I fought him tooth and nail, and thank God I was 19, but I didn't. I spoke to him without the other one there. And I was nice to her face, and I spoke to her, but secretly I did not like her. So these kids cannot like you, Queen. And this could be half of the problem. And this happened to me. I just did not like my dad. Oh, that is even worse. 16. My mother died when I was 18. And I did not like my dad's new choice of women, and I did not speak to him, and I threatened him and everything else. 16 is the worst age. So it's up to the 16-year-old, because when she gets older, he's the one that's going to suffer, and that's his grandkids, because that 16-year-old can leave and never see him again, and then it'll be you and him and no kids. So right now, he's probably just trying to think of the welfare of his children, I would believe. So you got to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And I know people try to force kids, but the more you force them, the worse it gets. Sometimes that's why it's hard to date people with kids. It really is. Are you guys just friends and never plan to have a relationship? I mean, this girl might not even want it. I'm thinking the daughter doesn't like you, Queen. You could be together. My dad, and his wife was together, but I didn't care. I wasn't accepting it. And it causes a lot of tension in a household. So, got to be careful about things like that. I would just take it very, very slowly. And if you could find someone in the meanwhile that doesn't have kids, maybe try to pursue that, because it might be a little easier for you. All right, Hoja. You want to know what's going on in your person's life. All right, let me see what you got here. All right, you got okay. You've been doing so guilty about and what I have to. I don't understand that. If you're a psychic reader, all right, Poja, let me see what's going on in your person's life. And like I said, I cannot tell you what these people are going to do or say, because the universe has free will, Poja. There's always paths we can take, wrong or right, and that is our right as a human being. All right, your person's in a dissembling moon, and this is talking about a resting period where they choose to do nothing at all. And that's okay, because we're allowed to have a resting period in our life. That's what our soul that's what our soul does. Our soul sometimes takes time to heal and get themselves together. Or maybe it's awakening. I don't know. Could be any of it. But it's also that your person's surrounded by the new moon in Taurus. And this talks about prosperity. So there's a job they're trying to focus on. And they're surrounded by a wanting moon. And they're surrounded by a lot of regret and just things that they didn't mean to do and stuff, and they just kind of want to put it behind them. And the universe wants them to just give up all those feelings and move on with their life. So, I don't know. This person is at a 50-50, Poja. This person could come towards you or away from you and be fine. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this person is doing. This is how our soul heals. That's why you go through sometimes multiple soulmates. Do you find the one that fits your purpose in this lifetime? You may not be that soulmate for this person. And sometimes we have to face these facts. They're God given. I was with three soulmates, and two of them was my baby's daddy. So I have two kids. So the universe separated us. They got remarried, everything, a whole 9 yards. This is what happens at times. So, all right, you're going to move with Vernon. Okay. Okay, you want to know, Romero, what you have been feeling so guilty lately, which you have to release. I don't understand, darling, what your question is. You move with Vernon. I don't know what you're asking for. Oh, I'm sorry, Karan. Put your thing in, and I'll get you next. I'll get this guy from the Psychic Network. He's our special guest. He's another psychic. I'll see if I can help another psychic here while I'm trying to get my baby and this toddler sketched out by the moon too. All right, let's see here where you're at, my friend Romero. Romero, you are in a multiple moon, and this just talks about things in your life could go either way. There's no probable end or beginning. It's whatever you choose. And you're in a stepping stone in your life, Romero. You're in a big stepping stone. There's a lot of good probabilities in every which direction. You could go one way, you can go another, and I do sense that you're evolving. I sense that your soul is starting to get more awakened and aware of things around you. And this is the point, Romero, when you would be, I guess, sent to heal people. Kind of like me. I'm just here to heal. And this is all our main purpose when you have the site is to help people heal. I will tell you that. If you go against that, it gives you bad luck. But and then you're surrounded by a full moon in Taurus, and this talks about how your dreams, the things you manifest, I want to say, and the things that you're doing kind of have to coexist on their own. So the things that you're setting out to do that you want to do cannot be done because you haven't done the layout and the work for the whole plan to go through. And you gotta get your balance because without balance, you always feel disrupted in the signals that you start getting sent to you, and you don't read energy as well when you're imbalanced. So I will tell you that. And then you got a new moon in Libra also, and this talks about romantic cycles, but it doesn't always have to mean romantic. It doesn't. In your case, it just means a new cycle of awakening. So I'm picking up, Romero, that you are picking up on your inner self and you're unlocking things now and remembering things that you have never knew you had. And the thing is, when you unlock these things, if you misuse them in the wrong way, it could get nasty for people. It can get very nasty. So I would I would go sit by a nice tree if I was you, Ramira, and I would ask the universe what the universe wants of you. Because if you go against what the universe wants and you misuse whatever thing they give you that awakens inside of you, it can't be taken freely as much it's given. I will tell you that. Whatever the universe gives me, I use in the way they tell me to use it because I don't want to misuse anything. Because it's called the misuse, even though, I know world leaders get in trouble for it, so do we. What God gives, if you abuse it, they take away and they could punish you. And this is the God's honest truth. So I would just contemplate and try to figure out and ask the universe, manifest. Now, instead of just manifesting, ask the universe the question. And you got to humble yourself, Romero. You have to humble yourself. You got to know that you're not no more important than the ant that's crawling on the ground. And if you're not humbled and stuff, spirits don't like that. Spirits do not like people that think they're better than anybody. That's why I always tell you guys I am better than nobody. I exist to help and try to better the realm, and that is it. I don't exist for any other reason. So sometimes psychics need help, my friend Yellow Mala. I mean, I can't read myself, and neither can, and neither can Romero. I will tell you that. I mean, just because we could read other people does not mean we could read ourselves. Because you're only meant to know what you're meant to know when you're meant to know it. And that's it. That's why sometimes when you do a reading, that happens. So, and that's usually the way the cookie crumbles. When we have problems, there's no one to go to because a lot of times the universe doesn't always answer the server. And that's the way it is. And we gotta have spiritual growth, and sometimes when new powers unlock, I don't want to say powers, when new energy unlocks, sometimes the universe tests us because you can't certain things that you're given, they got to make sure it falls in the right hands. This is why we a lot of times cannot read ourselves. So there's the answer to that question. I wish I could. It would make my life 100% easy if I could. This is why I draw. Drawing helps me. It centers me. That's why sometimes it comes out bad or good, but it does help center me. And Romero, if you can, I would maybe try to do something to an outlet for your energy. If it's making candles, sketching, whatever you need to do. Music, that's another good one, Romero. To center your chi. Because you're going to have to center your chi because I feel like you got lots of stuff going on. So that's what I would do. I tried to play guitar, folks, and it was really bad. I'm just gonna shade these little gates here. I'm trying to get all the background in here before I start inserting this toddler girl with her costume. But this is what I do to center myself. I don't do it to be popular. I don't care if I ever sell a painting or a sketching. That these kind of things don't bother me. I'm just glad that at the end of the day, I'm centered because of it. And that's where you got to be at. You got to be humble. Being humble is the hardest thing in the world to do because none of us are special. Even Jesus himself was not special. To glorify anybody is, I mean, there is no actual God. There's a source of light, but there's no actual God. It's a source of light, and you have to be humble. You just can't sometimes. Sometimes you gotta ask the universe, Yellow Man. That's it. I mean, it is what it is. I've accepted it, and if the universe wanted me to do things, they did it. But I don't ask questions. If you abuse such power and do things, sometimes they don't want you to know certain things. There's certain things I can't answer to you guys because the universe doesn't even want you guys to know certain questions. Some things are meant to humble us. We are all not meant to be happy. Some of us are in karmatic cycles. Sometimes people do stuff that is so bad in one lifetime, folks, that it goes in another lifetime. If you was horrible to a woman in one lifetime, sometimes in another lifetime you become a woman and you're treated horribly. Sometimes this is how karma runs also. So, I'm sorry. Alright, you want to know your friend Lyric pregnancy? What's going on with her pregnancy? Alright, let me go see what's going on with your friend's pregnancies. So, oh, V. I remember V. Oh, yes, I thought that V would have been talking to you by now. I really did. Possibly not. Oh, I am. Let me get Quran real quick. Alright. Alright, your friend's pregnancy is in a waning moon, which is not bad. This just means that your friend has a lot of stress. And I will tell you, from having a lot of stress, Quran, it doesn't mean that your friend's going to have a miscarriage, but with enough stress, it can lead to complications. That's what I'm saying so far for the main energy. Your friend's stressed out, which isn't good. So you need to help your friend stay centered and not be so stressed out carrying a baby. And then your friend is surrounded by a full moon in Aquarius. She's kind of confused, and they want your friend to kind of let out everything she's holding back and let it out. There's stuff that she's just holding in and kind of just trying to go about her life, but she has to let things out. She's bottling in emotions, psychologically speaking, and I know you know about psychology, so she's bottling her emotions, and that's what's making her pregnancy kind of bad. Then she got a new moon eclipse surrounding her also, and this is powerful change. I think this pregnancy will be fine, but you need to calm down your friend. Maybe talk to her, have her listen to some soft music or something. Alright. And I'll pray for your friend, Karan. I really will, because pregnancy's hard. Alright. You want divine advice, and then I'll get to you with V. Alright, I'll just do your energy field of Ram. Or Abram. Abram. Hopefully that's right. I can't tell you that. Whenever there's a new birth, there's no way nobody can know. That is classified. That is only the source of the one that can tell you that. Nobody could tell you anything about a new birth or upcoming death. Nobody can. That's up to the force of life and death itself. All I can tell you is that she's very stressed out, and if she keeps getting too stressed out, she may lose the baby. That I can tell you. I have a feeling that the baby's healthy, but the baby won't be if she doesn't calm down. Because you could cause yourself a lot of harm when you're pregnant if you have too much of that. And I know that from just being a medical for 29 years. So, but I'm pretty sure the baby's gonna be healthy, but we don't want the baby not to be healthy. So go help your friend. Go get her an edible or whatever you need to get her and calm her down. Go get her some cookies. Go talk to her. Give her a hug because she needs it. That's all I can tell you. All right, now Abram, your energy field is in your main energy is in a blue moon. And this just talks about believing in things that you didn't think was possible. You gave up hope. It signifies giving up hope, the blue moon. And it's telling you to believe in hope. And there's always hope. So, all right, let me get to you. And, anyways, Ibrium, and you're surrounded by a south node. And this just talks about how you're harboring the past. You want something from the past to come back and be more refined, but the thing is it's not going to be. So you're at war with your inner self, wanting this thing from the past to come back that is never going to. And we've all been there. So don't think you're all alone. We all have harbored things from our past and wish they were like that, and sometimes it just never is. You also are surrounded by a void of course moon. And this talks about the absence of something that you're hoping will come back but never will. So, but the only guidance I'm getting that spirits want you to do is let go of your past, and you're going to have to get through the pain of whatever you're harboring and trying to hold on to, and you have to move on, or you're going to go in this cycle around and around and around till you die. And that isn't a healthy cycle to be in. I'll pray for you because that's a really bad cycle for one person to be in. So, and I'm not saying it's impossible to get out of it. You just got to have awareness, and awareness is half the battle. It really is, my friend. It's just half of the battle. Let me get to Aman. Or no, V. Are you still here? Yeah, I haven't seen you for a while. What's it at? Where's she at? I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. You want to know if you're supposed to move out of Vernon. Alright. Are you still here, darling? I think I got the right one. I'm not sure if you're still here, darling, but let me know if you're still here. Sometimes people leave the stream. I want to make sure I get it. So just type in that you're here, darling, and I'll get you next if you're moving on with this Vernon or Vernman. It looks like VEM to me on this part of the world. You know what, Abram? I was trying to get it purple, and it did turn red. My friends at work said it was a gorgeous color, but I said, regardless, I wanted purple. I was trying to be cool. I figured everyone in my work has blue hair and all these difference about things. So, yeah, but I guess the universe wanted me to have red hair, so it is red, but I don't know how it's red, but it's what it is supposed to be purple. I was trying to be cool like some kind of live streamers over here that are very cool, not like me. But this is what happened. So I guess it is red. That's the funny story about that. So I'm trying to keep up with everything. All right. Well, I hope I was helpful. And I haven't heard back from my friend about vermin. So we'll go with a quiche or a sheesh. I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. You're unlucky in love. Will it come right for me? Oh, yeah, I'll pray for you. I really will. I pray for all you guys. That's why I'm over here to help. Sometimes people just need someone that's willing to help. And that's really all I do. I like my main focus is my artwork because this is what keeps me up at night trying to figure out how I'm going to get every sketch in detail, but I am here to help you guys too. You don't see things just to see things to make a profit. You see things to help. And I do like helping. I wholly do. And I believe in humanity. I believe in helping animals. And I believe in helping people through their problems, whichever way I can. I can't be your psychiatrist. I can't be your counselor, but maybe I can help you with issues in your inner self. And if I can, I mean, that just helps your inner growth. And the more you have your more inner growth going, the better you'll be. I have found it out for years, but I pass it on to other people also because I feel that the the where how I elevated and spiritually, I think everybody should have a chance to elevate spiritually. So I try to help everybody elevate spiritually. And I do. When you address these problems and the right guy and you have the right person kind of letting you know things, sometimes that helps you evolve a lot better and fuller. So, all right, now Aman, you're asking a career question, Aman, because you might change the team if the situation with Lena is not promising. Yeah, I can definitely do a career thing for you. I understand. I go through this. I'm ready. When I get ready to leave a job, somehow shit happens and I'm staying in the same place with more money. Even though I can't stand them sometimes. I get it. It gets frustrating, these jobs. I understand fully and hardly of these things. Your career situation is in New Moon and Gemini. And this is all about communication. So it makes sense. That's pretty much what you're complaining about. I had somebody at work I did not like that was bothering me, and that she ended up getting transferred. But I still told her I'd pray for her. I think that bothered her more. But, anyways, you're also surrounded by a supermoon at work, and this talks about emotions going up and down. People getting upset and happy, the yin yang effect. Then you got a wax crescent moon, and this just talks about having faith in things that you would like to happen that you don't think are going to happen. I have a feeling this person that is on the question board, I feel there's going to be something this Lena is doing that she's hiding but blaming others for is there. Maybe wait it out kind of see what goes on, but she's hiding something. I could tell you that. I mean, not everyone's perfect at work. It's not. Some people take bags, some people steal people's office work or take credit for things that aren't theirs. They do all kinds of stuff. Oh, you love the Aries? I didn't even know that was an Aries. I was just doing a skull because I'm trying to get this toddler in a witch outfit. But I told my husband about that. I was like, I might keep it because I'm an Aries. But yeah, I'm glad you noticed that. She's bipartisan of mine. She's kind of one of these people that just kind of likes to feel important by putting people down. So if she's your manager, I just feel she's doing some things she's not supposed to be doing. If you feel it's a safer environment to get out of it or just stay out of her way, that's really on you how you want to handle that situation. But if it's easier for you to put in a transfer, you could do that. So, but I feel she's not doing something by the book and she's going to get caught. And there's a lot of people always breaking the rules at work one way or another, and then they piss a bunch of people off and then they go away. Just like a storm gets rid of all the garbage behind it with the rain. So I guess that's up to you. I was ready to quit my job over one girl, and I went and told my boss, and they made her get transferred because she bothered other people. So maybe just say something to your the manager above them. That's what I did. I went straight to the big boss and the one girl that bothered the hell out of me at work. All right. Do you see any romance in September? Synthesized souls. I'm glad you like the Aries Ram. I wasn't sure if I was. I don't know. I like skulls, but I like to do them before I do face painting. But I'm not the craziest about it. But I might keep it for just because I'm an Aries. I don't know, but I'm glad you liked it. I don't mind if you guys critique my artwork because sometimes I don't know how the hell's gonna turn out. But you, my friend Synthesized Souls, your love life is in a full moon in Leo, and this talks about pride and ego. I sense that sometimes you could be a little picky with your partners. You want somebody that looks a certain way and that is a certain way, and you know, you want the outside to be a certain way. And there is people that didn't think that you'd be well with, but they didn't look good looking enough for you. That's what I'm picking up, and that's not bad. Some people are extra selective. I mean, it's life. And then you got a fixed moon, and this full moon in Leo just means look at all possibilities. Somebody that's not so good looking, maybe offer to get them a makeover, synthesized souls. So, oh, you're not picky no more? Well, I'm picking up you were picky. And that was one of the main problems. You also got a fixed moon. And this talks about holding on to your vision of a nice romance, which is good. And then you got a south node. And this just talks about not letting past things hold you back from becoming a better person and having a good life. Just because you might have been picky and maybe an a-hole in the past from time to time, that doesn't mean that it would sometimes we're meant to be that way. I wasn't always a nice person when I was younger either. So, and I did judge people in this way. But it just means that as long as you realize that you were being picky and maybe you could help somebody look a little better, get a hair treatment, and look in the inner, you will find someone. And nobody gets punished just because they were not so nice before. You got to remember that too. It's all about awareness and waking up to our faults and letting it go. So, well, yeah, that's how the that's literally how things go. So, I mean, when we're younger, we're all about that. That's why we always sit there and have celebrity crushes when we're younger. This is what society puts in our brains, synthesized souls, all the time. Society tells you this supermodel's perfect. This person is who we're gonna worship. This is who I want to be my future wife or husband or whatever. This is what happens all the time. Then we get older and find out it was all bullshit. So don't feel bad about it. It happens to every human being on the earth. And then you get older and you find out, I don't need to be that way. You like blondes? Yeah, I mean, everyone has a preference. You still might meet a blonde. If you find someone with brown hair, they might dye their hair blonde. Everybody dyes their hair every day. Just find somebody maybe that's average looking that you can help out if you get along with them and take them. I do hair treatments. I mean, there's always help to look nicer. There really is. You're more open. Well, there you go. See, you're being flexible. I do see a future for you with people, but just keep your eyes open. And if you find somebody attractive, and maybe they're not a blonde and they're brunette or have red hair or whatever they dyed their hair or didn't dye their hair, make sure they're nice or not nice, and read their energy. If you feel funny around them or you don't feel right about something they're saying, then that's a warning sign. Your energy picks up on things. But out of my league. You never know they're out of your league. I would go for it. It's not no one's out of no one's league. Just because somebody's beautiful does not mean they're out of your league. See if they're try to be friends with them. I mean, I've always told people I would date them when I was younger if I actually knew you at a friend level. I mean, some people are like that are better looking. They just want to actually know that you know who they are and you don't like them for just what they look like. Just try to be a decent human being around them. And even tell them I'm not trying to flirt with you. I'm just trying to get to know you as a person and see how that works for you. And I bet you'll have a way better luck. She is good looking with a hot body, but that's not what I crave. Well, that's good. If that is not what you are craving, then maybe that's what the universe wants you to do, and you'll probably get her. But you got to see somebody for who they are on the outside and inside. So don't sell yourself short. Well, if you realize and got through the test that you were being kind of over judgmental and learned your lesson, maybe this is the one the universe is throwing at you. I would go for it. I would, but don't be too pushy. Just say you just want to get to know him as a person and go slow. And don't ask for sex. Let the sex come to you. And that's when you have your best relationship. Don't even expect it. If they want to, let them come to you. That was my best advice on there because I have never, ever, I haven't had sex with a lot of people, but when I did, it was with people that got to know my inner self. So, All right. All right. World of Watches. Okay. You want guidance to stop great turmoil by. Oh. All right. You want a reading to stop your own turmoil. All right. Let me see what I can do. Oh, Poja. You and your marriage. You just are dying to get married. I wouldn't be in such a hurry to get married, Poja. Sometimes if you get married too soon, it's not always the best. You should let marriage come to you when it's going to come and the cycle it comes. You should never be pushy. You get pushy about marriage, you get a really bad result, Poja. A bad result, and you don't want that. I've been in a bad result marriage and ended up having my my first husband adopted my one son, and we ended up having another kid. So it wasn't the best. I don't regret it because I learned and grew from it, but I think I would have rather had it another way. But that's what the universe's message was to me. So that's my. I got your reading here. So, well, no, I got the World of Watches. Hang on. I'll get yours next. What's your turmoil about your marriage? Oh, you want to be married. All right, the World of Watches about your turmoil. Your turmoil World of Watches is in a full moon eclipse. And you're tormented because people are telling you things and you don't know the answers. And the answers they're giving you are not what you want to hear, and you don't know who's lying and who's not lying. I would be having turmoil over that too, so I get it. Then you got a full moon in Capricorn surrounding you, and you're coming off a tough cycle. I'm sensing that you're coming off a lot of personal problems. There was a breakup at some point, and then you have like certain people you're not sure about that are if they turned on you or not, and this happens. Then you got new moon in Libra. This talks about new romantic cycles, but it also signifies with new romantic cycles, it doesn't mean that there's a person involved. It just means the old cycle is broken off to where the old person's not coming back. It's a romantic cycle that starts, but a person hasn't been found yet. With all this going on, World of Watches, I would just try to live my best life and try to be calm. And they have a lot of self help. I've been watching these Joker things where they talk about silence and these chosen ones. There's power in silence. I would stay to myself, try to rebuild yourself, and that's what I would do. And let things come to you and try to find out the answer that you were supposed to learn, the lesson. Because there are lessons we're supposed to learn in this lifetime before we move to our next one. But I'm not seeing anything horrible here. It's a lot of heartbreak. And sometimes you got to go through heartbreak to get to a better beginning. And I know you don't want to hear that, but that's kind of how things go in life, and it's horrible. I've had my heart ripped out. I got scars in my heart from 50 years of living. So it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it, but you just got to learn from it. All right, now Poja. Let's get to your marriage reading. I'll see what your guidance on this is. Alright. Regarding marriage for you, Koja, you're in a full moon in Pisces. This energy field shows you're at an imbalance of your spiritual and practical. You can manifest these things all day long, but if it's not meant to be in your path, certain things right now, it's not going to be. And it's going to constantly be taken. And the more you go towards it, it's going to be lost opportunities. And when they talk about practical, it's do an outline of your life. Things you want to get done that have nothing to do with marriage. Work on yourself. When you work on your inner self and you work on the mission that you were supposed to be doing instead of worrying about all the other stuff that you're worrying about, you need clarity. I'm getting that big time. And then you're surrounded, your marriage situation surrounded by new moon. And this talks about new starts. There is somebody they're going to give you, but you got to get through this whole balancing your inner self out. You haven't even evolved enough to balance your soul from your daily activities. We forget that our soul has messages for us and you're not listening to your own soul. And then you have a fixed moon. And this talks about holding on to your dreams, having hope. There is hope, but it has to come in the proper way. Just because you're living and breathing doesn't mean things are going to come because I want. It comes when it comes, and that's it. So, and I'm gonna go do this, and I don't understand. You have World of Watches. You have a lot of track questions. Please tell the personality of boy who loves with buzz cut or short hair. Okay, well, there's a lot of people like that. I mean, I don't know. What is this boy to you that, I mean, is he connected to you in some way? I mean, people are sometimes meant to come in your life for certain reasons. Is he a family friend? I mean, I kind of don't know what energy field to read him with. I'm going to shade in all this fencing while I'm doing this. And I'm going to try to get this little girl with this moon behind her. Because I do love Halloween. Halloween is one of my favorite holidays. And I always, subsequently, when I was younger, I always wanted to be a witch for Halloween. I did. Even when I was a teenager, I would just say sometimes I went and dress up, and I was either a vampire or a witch every year, and it was so much fun. I think this year, I think I might be a vampire this year. I do like, I do like vampires. I love vampire movies. They're my favorite. My favorite book is Bram Stoker's Dracula, the original one. And Frankenstein. We can't forget about Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. It's the goat of all writing. These original writings. I do have some books that are 100 years old. I collect books. Laugh out loud. I don't know. When it comes to that time before I die, I don't know. I gotta find the child that's not gonna That's gonna not want to destroy my books and take care of them and not just wonder how much they're worth for sale. But this is what happens before we die. Because I do have paintings that are worth a lot of money. I have some that are 100 years old that I have kept, some that is 200 years old. I know my oldest would not sell it for nothing because he has money and stuff, so some things I'm going to give to him, and then some things my younger one. My older son, I call him the bloodsucker. He's the one that argues with lawyers and wins. Okay, I got a break in here. Alright, now I'm going to start with the little girl. I'm going to make this a little gate here. I'm going to do an old latch here. I think I just might add a latch. I'm just going to start building an old latch here, which, if you know what a lock looks like in your head, you just sketch out a little keyhole here. Just see it in your head and just sketch it out. There we go. I'm just going to make it right here. I don't know what you're trying to ask me. Is this a person that's with you or a friend of yours? I mean, people come in our lives different time. I just need to know the aspect of kind of the energy field you want me to pick up on them. I guess is what I'm asking. So if you know, the relevance of this person, if he's your betrothed, if you were like thinking about being with him type thing, if it's that kind of energy field, because we all got different energy fields here. All right, now put little tiny arrows, like little weeds coming up here. I've studied a lot of landscaping stuff here. I really have. Alright, so I got that so far, and then I'm gonna put the little girl in the moon up here. Okay. I was picking up that YouTube really didn't like your response at all because it literally restricted every single one of your comments. So, I don't know. Either it was way too negative for YouTube, or I don't know. I gotta follow YouTube guidelines. I really do. Maybe, I don't know, maybe if it upsets you so much. I mean, I know there's other people you could go to. So, maybe try to go to those other people because YouTube's not letting your questions go through. Alright, I'm gonna start doing her little dress in the moon. I think you guys can see it. But yeah, when it like hits, I do have it on restricted mode, so I don't get in trouble for certain questions or whatnot. I have it to where YouTube, if it's against their community guidelines, they just restrict it themselves. It's a lot easier this way. It really, really is. So I don't know. Rephrase your question if you want me to answer, and if not, I mean, there's a lot of different psychic people. They come over here sometimes and visit, so, and that's okay. All right, I do got a problem with feet, so I am looking at these girls with these little tennis shoes. As you was, all right. My question was, I like girls with short hair, cut, bald buzz cut. So please tell me about my feelings personally. I mean, that sounds to me that that's a preference. I mean, some people like being bald. Some people like having really short hair. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't. Some people prefer to women, some women prefer to be with women. Some people prefer to be with guys. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. He would have to find the right woman that had these features, I guess. But I don't think that's a question for the card so much. All right, I'm gonna try to get these shoes. I'm gonna do basic shoes. But yeah, this is literally just a preference, and preferences are okay. I mean, you gotta. Oh, well, that's fine. I could do the girlfriend. Yeah, I could do that. But I'm just letting you know it's okay to let like people's bald hair. I'm trying to be supportive of you. I mean, you like who you like. I mean, this is just the world in its core, I guess. But yeah, I'll do romantic reading for you. And I wish you luck in your journey for this person with buzzed hair. I remember in the 80s when the Mohawks were really, when I was younger, when Mohawks were prevalent. There would be girls. Sinead O'Connor was one of the first celebrities to buzz their hair, and then the skaters did it. And then people didn't do a total buzz. They just buzzed the side and left the middle. And then there came the Mohawk. And that was real popular. God, there was my cousin. I thought she was insane. She came home with this guy. He was nice looking, but he had no hair except for the top, and he stuck up like a peacock, reminding me of a rooster. But, it was what it was. And I was being judgmental, but he was a real nice guy. But I was young and stupid and rude because I was a teenager then. I will tell you that. I used to kind of snuff behind his thing because I used to tell my cousin, "Oh my God, how do you find them attractive?" And I don't know. He was a nice guy towards the end. He just had a mohawk. He had a nice job and stuff, and they ended up being together. And he ended up being a landscaper and getting his own little company. And then eventually, I don't know, maybe he shaved his head. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. But you know, it wasn't the most horrible look. At that time, Mohawks were just coming out, so it was alright, I don't know why they restricted that one. It said Mamwell 6. I don't know. This YouTube does this sometimes, so I couldn't tell you. Alright, but World of Watches. No. I will not try a buzz cut. I am trying to get my hair normal and long again, but no, I do not look good without hair. I am sorry. I look okay with short hair. Look okay with my hair braided, but no hair, I do not look good in. Hi, Chumba. How you doing? That's a look that I don't think I could pull off. Some people maybe, not me. I don't have the right head structure to support that kind of hairstyle. I think my friends would have a heart attack. I would go into work and they wouldn't know what to think or say. All right, but World of Watches, your love cycle is in a new moon in Leo, and this talks about confidence. So I got, your main thing is you lack confidence to find this person with a buzz cut. So I don't know. I would maybe try to. I know they used to have grunge metal and stuff when I was younger, when all these people was like these different things. You're unwell, Chubba, but on the mend. Oh yeah, I'm doing good. And my dog's dragging me down the park, walking for 4 hours every other day. But yeah, I get my exercise regimen from Mr. Chong. But I'm doing good. Anyways, I'm getting that. Have more confidence. Maybe go some more places where people are more, where those crowds are. I mean, I don't know. There's punk metal people. There has to be a group of people that kind of does that kind of thing. Everybody shaves their head and does different stuff. I mean, there's always the rebels of the group. You need to find a rebel, somebody that's a rebel. And then a full moon in Sagittarius, you got. And that makes sense. It's just saying looking at the bigger picture. You're looking and look for love in all the wrong places, like Kenny Rogers says. Laugh out loud. I love that song. Maybe I'll do an inspirational Kenny Rogers. I do listen to him. I like him. Then a full moon in Gemini. And this talks about answers that you need that are coming. I don't know. I'm trying to think of that one thing that I always see on YouTube. The ones that, those people that dress up like clowns and they rap and they do metal. I forgot their name. But they, like, some of them are bald, some of them are not, and some of them, they be having sex all over the place. And I know there's been a lot of YouTubers that's been over there also for these, when they have these gatherings, and they all look like clowns. I'm trying to think of that. I can't think of the name of these guys. I do like some of their songs though. And they have that whole following. Maybe try to go to one of those gatherings. Save up some money. I'm sure you could find somebody. I mean, hell, somebody might even, while you're at these gatherings, you might meet somebody that tickles your fancy and they may you guys might shave your head together there. I don't know. Or the insane clown posse. And then they have all those, like, people that follow them. And I feel like, and on YouTube, it's like they have like their own little movement, and they always have the people that are different on there, and they accept anybody, and they all feel like they're a family. So maybe that could be the kind of people for you. I don't know. I'm just putting ideas out there for you. All right, I'm starting the little girl here. She's gonna be a little witch flying in the moon. I feel this would be pretty. Oh, well, thank you. I'm trying to make it good today, Chumba. I try. I do love my Halloween. I don't consider myself, and I do not consider myself a witch at all. I don't. Even though my mother was a witch, I just consider myself someone that could see energy. But I do like the energy of Halloween all the same. Halloween has a fun energy. And when I mean fun, it's just, you could feel it in the air. I've always loved it since I was a kid. Everybody just takes apart their day and it's a happy energy. Christmas sometimes you think would be that way, but it always isn't. It really is not always happy. That energy of that day. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not. There's been times when I was younger that the energy was good on Halloween. Sometimes it's bad. I did give you advice. That is the advice, my friend. I mean, you got to find your own way of world. I can't tell you what to do. You just got to find someone that's kind of like a rebel like you. I mean, you got to seek the people from these places. Sometimes they used to be punk rockers when I was younger, so it was really good in America. People put a lot of energy in their costumes. Oh yes, they do. I still love Halloween. Love it. I honor the dead, Chumba. I believe that's why I'm fighting over my dad's ashes because I believe that there's honor in death, and I think we should honor every dead person. And I know the veil officially opens on November 1st, All Saints Day. I don't know if you guys knew that. That's when the veil officially opens. Oh, yeah, it is good in America. We do Halloween well. But yeah, I know a lot of people got it wrong, Chumba. It's always All Saints Day is when the veil opens. That's why they do that in Romania where it started. And they started that in Romania because they protect the dead before the veil comes out. And it started obviously with the mummerings of Dracula being an actual vampire, and he was an energy vampire. I will give him that. He technically was, I guess, a vampire in the sense he was an energy vampire, and he knew how to get his energy around Dracula. Because he was a real person. He was uh he was a Romanian prince that was abused. I mean, all the everything's there on YouTube of his life and everything. He was raped as a child by the Turks and everything. And unfortunately, with all that abuse, he turned it against a lot of people. And he became very cruel, which is one reason that you never want to mess with someone's energy. You don't, because I guess that is kind of hard when you're a child and your dad's kind of giving you away for the slaughter, for the torture. And in those days, it's kind of how it was. I'm glad it's not that way anymore. Yes, we do have human trafficking. Yes, I get it. Do I agree with it? No. But do I get it? Yes. But it's not as bad as it used to be. I don't think people realize it's there, but it literally isn't as bad as it once was, all the same. So I'm just shading in here. I got the little girl here. I'm shading these in a little because I'm going to start bringing in these hands. I'm not the best with hands. So, and I'm looking at an actual picture of a little girl with her little knuckles and everything, so I'm trying my best here. Because faces are hard. Faces are very hard. That's why the skull always comes first. Alright, I do the shape here. Alright, now coming down, that's another one here. Alright, then you go in the side. Okay, for too many fingers right there. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. Count your fingers. You've got to count these fingers because sometimes you can give somebody, oh, XYZ. Okay. You like someone and I'm suddenly missing them. I want to see what he's feeling and doing. Well, that's good. I mean, are you guys seeing one another? Or you just had a feeling about him? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think I'm that sexy, Chumba. I couldn't. I couldn't. I don't give myself that much credit. Not at all. I'm just a person that lives and breathes. That's it. And I draw and try to get through my day. And I got lots to do because I got Amazon orders today. I actually got a new deck of cards I was going to try out that seemed pretty cool from Amazon. It's just like my favorite thing to draw on. I do like that. I'm going to do a half moon here. I'm going to symbolize a half moon with this little girl. And then just do limited shading right here. I like to do symbolic shading. I feel it gives it more character. And I was told by an oil painter that I'm very good friends with that she can sketch. Yeah, she's a very good oil painter. But she said she can't sketch with such detail. But she's an awesome oil painter. I'm hoping to get her ass over this house. But of course, she has to be always working. Everybody's always working. That's involved in my life. They either have 3 jobs, 2 jobs, or they got lots of jobs. I choose not to work all these jobs. I'm tired of it. I'm going to be excited when I retire completely. Until then, I'm only working my 32 hours. I mean, that's not horrible. I got this far so far. I like to go bottom up when I go on these. When I go on these little things, I feel the face is something that you kind of want to do last because it's so intricate and complicated. And you could go from 0 to 100 in 2 minutes. It's almost better to go in slowly. So the head is pretty much your last placement that you want to do. And I got to make the small face look realistic, even though it's done by AI, of this cute ass little girl with her costume. And I'm doing now the face. Alright. I'm doing face placement here. And I'm just doing a really light silhouette of kind of how I want to bring that. I'm going to do her hair first. Bring that down. Well, if you don't want it back, the worst thing to do, and I've realized this, and I was told by a lot of good shaman and people, if you wish bad things and you just want them to miss you, it almost backfires, and then you don't get anybody ever. I've heard that you should always pray for people or ask for good things for them. Because if you don't, and you always wish bad things on people, it's not a good thing. I heard it gives you really bad luck too. So I'm just telling you from personal experience. Alright. Okay, I don't know what the hell I did with this hair. I can try to find out, but that's kind of hard. I mean, generally, somebody's next actions are their own personal thing, and really nobody can read someone's actions. They could tell you that all day, but they can't. I'm telling you the truth. It's like no one can tell you what you're feeling or not feeling. If nobody could read you and what you're doing, most likely nobody could. You can't do that to other people because the thing is, people could do horrible things to you all day long. And it's their God given right if they want to be nasty to you. It's their God given right if they want to murder you. But it's how we react to being discarded. It's how you refine yourself. I've had a lot of people that personally don't like me, and it's okay. And there's a lot of people that I personally had to talk to the universe about. But like I said, that's okay. That's just was life in general. So, all right, I got her hair. Getting there. Yeah, you could do that too. You don't have to pray just as long as you're happy. You could just say, I'm happy and I hope you get over it. This one girl at work tried to get me fired and everything else. And like I told you guys earlier, and I could have took it in a negative way. I sure could have. I didn't. All I told my boss was I'm not writing a statement. I just want to be left alone. And I left it at that. She ended up getting transferred, and that was it. And when I did work with her on the last day because all these chosen one videos over here. I don't know. They say that some people are chosen ones, some aren't. I don't know whether I believe all of that, but they do had one thing that rang through all these chosen one videos, that you should just wish them well, just so your karma itself is better. So that's what I did. I told her, I was like, I hope you the best in your new job, which I knew she was going to a shitty facility. She didn't want to go, but I didn't, not the one that told her she wanted to beat the crap out of me. Was I afraid? No. I just told my other coworkers I didn't know where I was supposed to beat her up at. I was like, nobody told me the rules of engagement of fighting. And I left it at that. Alright, I just got her hat down here. And my boss was just so horrified that this happened at a medical facility. That's when they made her leave. Well, sometimes these things happen, and I still don't wish her harm. I did the whole thing. I think I have it on there for her wedding. She was marrying another girl, and she thought I was homophobic, and I'm not. I'm absolutely not homophobic. So I did the whole thing for her wedding for the Mrs. and Mrs. Henderson. Do I take back drawing that? No. I still wish her the best of luck because she's already having problems in her marriage. The girl barely wants to sleep with her and all this other stuff. It's not bad. Now we just got to get the face in there. I got the little hat. That is not bad for recreating an AI picture. Hail to the human that could do what the AI once can do. That's all I got to say. This is why I say us humans should stick together and find out our full potential. Because our full potential is very good. And I do this because you do know, and I will tell you guys, when you have when you kind of do little things like this, discovering your full potential, you won't have Alzheimer's because you're triggering different spots of your brain. Just me doing this, I'm triggering my left and my right side. And if you can exercise your left and right side hemispheres of your brain, you do really well. And this is why I do like sketch drawing because it's some of the best exercises you can just to do that. That's not bad. All right, here's our little girl. I just freehand sketched that. Little witch girl going. You like it? Yeah, I'm just kind of just looking, and I just kind of just free-handed that because I want to know why that AI is not better than me. I really honestly want to know that AI didn't win. I feel sometimes we just say F it and we just go for the AI. And I feel if we tried ourselves, this would not be an issue. Alright, I'm just going to do a little tiny more details in her face. There you go. I accentuated a couple little things here. Now I want to get some bats. I'm going to shade in the moon around her and get some bats in here. Sometimes the most simplest things turn out the best. You don't always have to go for the huge masterpiece. Sometimes if you can make simple work, it ends up looking nicer than if you wanted to try to make the Mona Lisa, which I mean, I do appreciate the artists. We all do. They're the goat of art. I get it. It's always going to be ingrained in our history to one day we don't exist anymore, and then we don't see the Mona Lisa. But sometimes I feel the Mona Lisa could have better results. Yes, I dare to say this. I don't know. I think the lady's hair could have been braided. There could have been something. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not criticizing because I'm not that kind of artist, but maybe if the Mona Lisa was sketched out a little better, I would like it. But I appreciate good art? Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, it is what it is there, and there's absolutely. I mean, it's in our culture, and that's what that artist did, and that's how that artist made its mark. But then you have Rockwell people that are doing things like that. And then there's people that are famous for that one artist that does the big eyes in the 40s. I actually have some of her stuff. I actually I actually do. I have one of the paintings that she did in the 40s. I'm just doing bats now. And I know that is worth some money. And I got that. Someone who's throwing it away. And it actually was signed by her. And it was from the time where big eyes were very popular, big eye drawings. And it was a little boy, and the little boy was painted out in oil paint very, very beautifully. So I do have that. I mean, I don't know which kid I'm gonna give it to when I die. I got a lot of inventory of things that's going on before I die. And then I have one of Jesse James that I found. Somebody threw that away too, and I looked that up, and I bagged it for about like 2 years to make sure there was like no bugs or nothing in it because it's 200 years old. And when you have the wood that's that messed, that old, that's when a lot of these bugs start getting in there. But now, after I had it for 2 years and closed, I know I'm good with no bugs alert because I don't do bugs. And I had it wrapped around several bags, and I put it in a spot that it could not invade my house. Now I'm just shading each bag because shading is the most important part. I don't know. This might be a Halloween decoration. I might keep it for Halloween decoration. I think this would be pretty around Halloween. And you don't always have to get fancy. I just made it so it looks like a little banana. If you look how I did that, it's just a tiny banana with the little wings. Especially if you just want to make something simple after like you did your small face of, the little girl in a witch costume. You could do this and then lightly shade them, and then technically it's not a bat's head, but it's the sigil of a bat. And really that's all that matters. And then I have them looking bigger and then going up more because as they're going farther away, obviously they're going to get smaller. So I do like doing fun things around Halloween so much. I'm thinking about going on one of the a haunted hunt or something. I didn't really do anything this year, but now that I'm getting the money from my dad's death money, and Brandon found a military, my oldest, he found a military cemetery that's absolutely free burial. And they're going to the VA to get all this money for me to bury him. And my son's in the honor guard because he was in the Navy. So I'm getting that for free too. So I'm going to be able to honor my dad and get all this done. And maybe, I don't know, I'm thinking about going to Salem. Maybe I could just get me a new car, drive to Salem. 'Cause I should be able to put like $20,000 down and just buy me another car. I haven't so far done this because I figured why if I had a car payment, but if I don't need to get a car payment, if you're paying cash with all this crap going on with Trump, you can get just about anything you want if you have cash in this climate. If you don't have cash, your credit is important. But since I'll have a lot of cash, I'm thinking about going to Salem, and then I could get like a lot of videos, and maybe even do a video over there. I don't know. It's not Salem's not that far, and they even got Salem, Ohio. A lot of haunted spots there where I can go a couple hours out. I just want to get some clouds in here. So I just do some squiggly lines, and then I lightly am shading these clouds because if you look outside how the clouds are, they always aren't one way or another. Sometimes the squiggly lines look really good for Halloween stuff. I don't know why. I use the squiggly out. I call it squiggly line clouds. And you can put them any which way. It adds a little bit of fun to your sketch. So I already got 3 in there. And those are just the squiggly clouds. You can have them go sideways. The clouds could go any which way. Absolutely. I'm just doing one here. I want to get these craters down. I will just consider these the craters on the moon. Alright. Now, I'm just gonna do last minute touches on this dress because shading is always your best friend on a sketch painting. It really, really is. It just can be one of your best friends. I need to reinforce the lines over here also. Bring this down because you want some darker tones. Because once you start getting to shading with the other stuff, you really want these darker tones to come up nice. And I want to fix this so her chin's a little more rounded out. I don't like the way the chin is. And then the little moon, I'm going to make that a little more dominant. And then her witch hat. You just want to go around the rim of this hat. Just to show that there's a hat here. Kind of reminds me of a little Hermione. Alright. When I come down with squiggly lines because you want it to kind of have dimension. You absolutely want dimension to your stuff. If you don't have any dimension to your drawings, it kind of comes out like crap. Dimension, I think, is one of the most important things you can have. And you gotta show detail. Alright. I did some more fine tuning on the girl. Fixed her. I fixed her chin up and everything. Oh, because I've been busy, Karan. I gotta go on these nature walks now. Because every day I go 1K with my videos, and YouTube wants me, they send you messages. And YouTube wants me to be able to do these shorts. And I have a lot of time I gotta spend with my dog on these times because to get all these shots. My dog is a big dog, Karan. My dog walks 4 hours. So I'm gone 4 hours in the park, and then I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I tell you, Karan, they're the worst days of the year. You don't sit down. Sometimes I'm there for 13 hours and I don't get to sit down. I mean, it's the life of a healthcare worker. I get it, but yeah, that's why you don't see me as often sometimes, because sometimes I'm just at work. We had emergency. I don't think I told you, Karan. Oh, yeah, I know. That's why I'm living my best life. But yeah, I had one person, and the only reason I didn't come on Monday was because one of my patients, I found them unresponsive. And he was under the bed shaking, and we all were there. The whole hurdle of all of us went in there, and it drained me. So, and they said if I didn't get there 10 minutes, if I'd have got there 10 minutes later, the guy would have died. So there was paperwork. There was a lot of stuff to go through. I was literally exhausted. Saving lives is very exhausting. And I do mean exhausting to the point of no return exhaustion. So I'm hoping not to have to save someone's life, literally, when I go back to work. But hopefully, if my weekday is better, I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this now for the vault because I'm going to color it in. I'm going to do portrait with it. It seems to turn out better. Alright. Alright, I got that done. Now I'm gonna shade. I'd like to see my progress. Yeah, I'm sorry about your death. This is why I'm already 51, so I mean I'm on borrowed time. That's what my family always said. My family told me that you're on borrowed time when you hit a certain age. I have a very strange family. They be talking about borrowed time, people's auras. This is the environment I grew up in, but yeah. Alright. Latoya, I haven't heard from you in a while. Alright. You liked And my son, Father Tay, wants to be back in communication. I can see his energy field. I mean, there's a big chance if he hasn't kind of. I want to say that if he's been talking to you since the breakup, obviously, he wants to be in communication with his son. And sometimes, Latoya, I got two babies' daddies. The third husband I do not have kids with. And I had to put aside my differences and I had to forgive them both and let them take care of the child. And the one got married and he's happily married, and I have to be nice to his wife. So these are things that do happen in life, and for the sake of your children, sometimes you got to deal with things you really don't want to. And believe me, I get it. I do not want to deal with Brian or Mike. Not at all. But once I have this funeral for my dad, which the lawyers, there's a law here in the United States that if you're in the military and someone's holding someone's remains, you can. Is a federal offense, especially if they were military. So I will be getting these remains, and I have to. And my dad, unfortunately, liked Brandon's father and Zach's dad. So I have two people there. Annie liked the one guy that had a crush on me since I was like 8 years old. So these three people I gotta invite to this funeral. So I tell you this with a heavy heart because sometimes these are tests that we gotta go through. And sometimes you gotta give up people and just let them be with their children. It sucks. And you can't be vengeful about it. If they want to come up and they want to do whatever, you got to hand over the kids as long as they're safe. And that's it. You just hand them over. That's part of being a mom. And it sucks. So, your fella, I will tell you, he's imbalanced. His inner spirit is broken. And his main energy is to balance out the practical, like what he wants to do with the outs with our existence when you wake up when you're not sleeping. And if that's to cut people off or whatever, and focus on what is important to him. And he has to spiritually evolve. He has not been spiritually evolved yet. So, and then he's surrounded by a fixed moon. And this talks about holding visions, which I'm saying only has to do with the sun. I don't see anything else. And then there's a full moon in Leo, talking about pride surrounding him. He does not want to deal with talking to you. I'm picking that up loud and clear, but he's trying to be nice because of the child. I'm picking that up loud and clear. Maybe just tell him, give me whatever money you have, move on, try to find someone else, be the best mom you can, and kind of just do what you need to do. If he brings over another girlfriend and they want to see the baby, say, okay, I want my son fed, here's his clothes, yada yada. I did this with my oldest, with his stepmom, and they weren't married then. They just recently got married years ago. So you want to know if Lena is good to you? I don't know. Is this about your boss again? Because I remember there was Alina. Is this your boss, Alina? I got my yellow chalk. I kind of like how this moon was yellow. Alright. Okay, is this your boss? I think it was your boss, Lena. I don't. That's what's sit in my head. I'm using the chalk pastels for this paint because you can still see sketches with these. And you can see the fine lines. I mean, I don't know. How does she react to you? I mean, I guess that's the question on the table. I mean, if she's your boss, I'm sure she likes having the work done, but I wouldn't depend on a work relationship as like your friendship and worrying about they're good for you. I mean, some lot of times I was told at work, we are there for the patients. We're there to save their lives, but we are not there to be friends. If you do meet a couple friends at work from time to time, you're you're good and blessed in that way, but if you don't, nobody's meant to be friends at work. That's what I have been told a million times. And that's how the corporate world runs. All right. All right. I'm just kind of leaving my little witch in the middle here. I got her in the middle. I'm just leaving her just like this. I think it looks vibrant like that. And then I'm going to do like dark blue in the back. I like to do this style of pastel painting, and I do it. I go in a circle because I feel it gives your sketch life and happiness and breathes something. I just believe that color breathes happiness into anything you sketch. It can even if you it comes out kind of shitty, it can make it look better. Honestly. I go around in a circle, it makes a more picture effect, and use your fingers because you could control where the colors go, how they come together, and how they don't come together. And like right around here, I want all these colors. You could go circle side to side, however way you want to do it. I know, Chong. I know you want to go outside. I get it. Mr. Chong woke up. He's probably wondering whenever the hell I'm going to be done over here. Because he's always wanting to pee. All the time. Alright, Chong. I don't need fur in the coffee. I'm moving that over here. There's Chong, mate, everybody. Here's the star of the show. My big rescue dog. We gotta go to... I don't know if I want to go to the big park today, folks, because I actually do want to come over here and do another art stream. I'm thinking about taking him to a smaller park. See, I'm just going like in a circle over here. Yeah, but I'm thinking about taking him to the smaller parks that I have that I go to. See, now he really wants to go. That's why he's licking my hand. We're gonna go, Chong. Let me just finish this off, all right? I know. You like it? Does it look nice, Chong? I think Chong likes it. What, Chong? I love you too. We're gonna get going. You got stuff in your eyes. Let me wipe you this out. There. That in the garbage over here. Got eye boogies. I love you too, Chong. Alright. I'm going to finish up the fencing. And then Mr. Chong wants to go outside. Alright, we're going to go. Let me finish up this fencing, okay? Alright, Chong, I'm almost done, alright? Alright, this is almost like you're coloring, but you're not. And these are chalk pastels. Alright. I'm putting these straight down here on these rows. Doing the same thing over here. I'm not trying to do a lot with this brown, just a little bit to kind of show everything that's going on in this piece. You want it to flow and have a nice little steady flow, that's all. Alright, Chong, we're going. Alright, I'm bringing these down like those little things I always see down the park, these little arrow-like things they have. They're like wildlife flowers. They're wildflowers. Alright. I'm just reconstructing the lock there. Alright. Now I'm going to rub this in. I know, Chong. We're going to go. Let me finish the fencing. And then we're going outside. And we'll do all of our outside activities. Alright, I'm just going up and down with this because I kind of don't want to lose the integrity of the sketch itself. That I don't. I want it to look like an old worn down fence. Like something that should have been fixed. Like a graveyard's over it type thing. The spooky feel of Halloween. Alright. Rubbing all this. And then some of this here, I'm going to pick that up with my finger. And I'm going to swirl it in here just to give this brown a different dimension. Because you can take and you can move this color around. You don't have to keep it just here. You kind of want to move it around in your sketch painting. You don't want too much. I don't want too much here because I sketched out the slot. So I'm just pulling this out here with my fingertip and bringing this here. And you're going to pull all this up. And this up this way like that. I'm going, Chong. We are going to your little park. You're going to see ducks today, I promise. Maybe we'll find some pretty flower pictures. I do my nature vlog. Alright. I'm going to leave this just like this. I'm going to leave my little girl in the side, in the middle of the moon like that also. I feel it looks good just like this. So, alright, I'm going to let you guys go because I'm taking Mr. Chong out. And I hope everybody is doing well. I'm going to try to come back today. Now that I was able to do the little girl, I might try something else. And I'll post this on my community post. And I'll be back after I get all my nature footage and Chong does all of his nature peeing and pooping. And thank you for listening, and I appreciate all you guys. And I will talk to you later today.